KUGAN, CASSIUS, IFL TV, MTK Global. Feeling Miami? Clearly you are, mate.
I'm feeling good. I'll tell you what, I went to the gym this morning and it was about 120 degrees in the gym because everyone's in there making weight, turn the heat up. I reckon I dropped about 10 pounds. Did a nice little hour on a running machine. Feel great, mate. Obviously looking very toned, chiselled.
Can we have a look?
Ah. How are you?
Who makes them shorts?
Vilbequin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Great
Okay.
Vilbequin.
Yeah. What's going on there?
I've got, you may laugh about this actually, but they sent me a load of shorts, Vilbequin, and they said, could you post in the shorts? So I sent them a picture and they asked me not to post because they want me to be in their catalogue. You laugh, but so in the summer,
Really?
Summer 2020, I'm going to be the face of Vilbequin shorts, not other stuff, just swimwear.
So basically, we'll just see a white person's legs, and you'll say that that's you.
No, I'm going to be. There's
Fully
three
in.
different looks. The first one is with a life, like a lifeguard raft.
Yeah.
And they want me down the beach like that.
Like Hasselhoff, yeah.
The other one is on sunbed, just with a drink, like a cocktail or something like that. And the other one is, I think they want me doing some kind of dive off a rock or something like that.
Dive off a rock?
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Like mid-dive.
You're
they want
so
me like that.
convincing. This is why you're a good promoter, mate, honestly.
Shout out to Vilbequin. If you've got any free shorts, treble XL, hit me up.
Them shorts are dear, aren't they? They're lumpy.
140 quid.
What?
They're about 140
Yeah.
quid plus.
We didn't really talk properly about Gibb and Paul yesterday. I know you've got 3 world title fights on the bill, but I do want to talk to you about Gibb and Paul today. Just had the pre-weigh in here. Everything was on point for that.
Yeah, it was. It's a bit less of a circus than KSI Logan Paul. I mean, it's not as big, firstly. And I think that Gibb is not as comfortable as KSI is around the madness. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's not used to the madness. And Jake Paul is, but he's a bit nutty as well. So I think both guys truly have trained really hard. I think they really, really, really want to win. And I think they're not. I think KSI and Logan Paul felt like it was just about the views. Do you know what I mean? This time feels actually more. It's about the win. And I have to be honest, like, you can't take this stuff too seriously, but I'm quite excited for this fight. Just because I think last time, we talked about, we've got Devin Haney on the undercard, we've got Billy Joe Saunders on the undercard, and actually the fight of the night was KSI Logan Paul. Here you have a stronger card, where you have 3 world championship fights. Will Gibb against Jake Paul be the fight of the night? I'd be very surprised if it was, because you've got all this quality, but everything that I do, every decision that I make, there is a method behind it, and the method to this is that we drove hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of subscribers to DAZN for the last fight, and a huge percentage of them have stayed. And what that means is the ones that have stayed got to see Joshua Ruiz, got to see Jacob Chavez, got to see Munguia last week. So they've been watching boxing. And the whole argument to this thing is we're driving a new fan base and audience to the sport. And the argument is, yeah, but will they stay? Will they? Well, the answer is, yeah, they have. Will they watch? Yeah, they have. So I believe it's working. It's not always going to be everyone's cup of tea, but,
Just coming on to KSI, obviously his manager, Liam, is here.
Is that all right with the son?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
What? Are you talking to him about
Yeah, I
whether
just
he
spoke
comes?
to him. He wants to fight again. I mean, he's coming tonight for 24
Video Riley
hours.
says he won't fight, probably.
I think KSI, it was such a big win for him, such a big moment that it's going to take something substantial. If I was KSI, the only way I would fight again is if someone gave me a load of money, or there was actually someone that I wanted to really fight. He would quite like to bang out Jake Paul. So, but again, I spoke to Liam, and Liam's like, if that fight happened, it would have to be at least 90-10. I'm like, don't get into that, Liam. This is just a YouTube fight. So,
90-10?
yeah, because it's like, obviously, the views and all this sort of stuff. It's like, look, guys, if you want to fight, great. If you don't, like, leave it. But again, I don't want to be doing. I want to do probably 2 or 3 of these a year. That's it, tops. So, but the problem is.
What are you talking about on the scale of KSI Logan Paul, or in general?
In general.
2 or 3?
Yeah.
It's stretched to 1 every other month.
No. Or just for your views. No, but look, we're going in. We've pretty much got the schedule working till the end of April now, and there's no other YouTube fights till the end of April. So will we do one in the summer? Possibly. We're talking to. There's been, everyone knows publicly Antonio Brown has come in to fight Logan Paul. Antonio Brown is one of the biggest sports stars in America, unquestionably. So there is interest in that. There is also 2 or 3, one sports star and some other people in the UK who I'm talking to about doing a KSI fight. And but this is huge level stuff. So will we do something like that in the summer? Possibly, but the next YouTube sports star fight we'll look at is in the summer. So again, don't think that there's one in Feb, there's one in March, there's one in April, because there isn't. Sorry.
That's all right. If you could list me 3 dream YouTube fights for the year.
It's not really about YouTube. I think the whole thing for me is not YouTube.
Not
fights.
Necessarily.
Or you're
YouTube
talking about
fights. I'm talking
sports
about
stars. I mean, I'd love to do Antonio Brown against Logan Paul because it's just so big in America, and it brings in. We've got this YouTube audience right now, but the Antonio Brown fight brings in a whole new audience, as would someone like a Rio Ferdinand, Wayne Rooney, all these kind of guys who we know have got a history of boxing and might want to have a go themselves.
Is Rooney interested?
Rooney's always interested in a fight. I haven't had any talks with him about numbers and stuff like that. He wanted to fight Jonathan Ross. You might have heard it on BBC, No Passion, No Point, Eddie Hearn's podcast.
Yeah, is that the thing that didn't get commissioned for a second series?
Excuse me, I'd like to tell you, they've asked me to do another series, and right now I'm considering it.
You're considering it?
Because it's just time consuming.
Yeah, I know, mate. You're here, there and everywhere, aren't you?
Exactly. Well, we've got unscripted drops today, I think.
Yeah, that's good. Did you have a chat to Wiley if he wants to get in the ring with Stormzy?
Wiley would love to get in the ring with Stormzy. What I wanted to do was something a bit different. I wanted to have the battle at the O2, but not in the ring, on the stage. So I wanted Stormzy and Wiley battling at the O2 with a big undercard with other grime artists. And I wanted to have some kind of element where we could make some kind of donation to an inner city charity or a Knives Down charity or something like that. And I thought it would be absolutely huge.
But?
Nothing, but I spoke to Wiley about it. He was up for it. I don't think Stormzy... I think that you've got the two who are on, at the moment, sorry Wiley, but Stormzy is the biggest star at the moment, isn't he? And it's whether he's looking at it and going, mate, I don't want to go and do a show with you. I mean, there's a lot of money to be made in that. And I've never done a music event before, so I quite fancied it. But it's only pie in the sky stuff. But
it's quite interesting. You're delving into
it's
that
something
market.
that I want to get into.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is
Not grime battling, but music. I want to start creating music events as well.
Really? What, under the Matchroom banner?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Oh, she's gone over.
So, is someone getting knocked out? Careful what you say.
10-ounce gloves, no head guards. Someone's getting knocked out. I bet you. Do you think they are, or do you think they're not?
Points.
Okay. 50 quid. 100 quid. To a charity of the other person's choice.
50 quid.
Okay.
50 quid. We know you pay your bets.
Why, which one?
The last one, I never saw the daylight.
What bet?
We had a bet. What was it?
Oh, shut up.
We did have a bet and you didn't pay out.
How much was it?
It was some comments about Colin Rooney
and Vardy.
And Vardy. We had a bet.
And what was the bet, though? Yeah, but when you say, I don't think.
Well, it's on the video, so I'm not making it up.
I bet you he did, and I
mate.
lost.
We had a bet, and you called it on. You never paid.
All right, well, go back and someone tell me what it is, and I'll pay it.
It's not going to be hard to find that one. So.
How are you?
I'm all right.
You happy?
I'm always happy. What's there not to be happy about?
Got to live your life, haven't you?
Yeah. There's too many miserable, negative people in the world still.
Tomorrow is never promised. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant.
Absolutely. What? I mean,
it's weird. In things like that, I've never met Kobe Bryant, and I'm not even really like growing up. Jordan was one of my big like heroes. Didn't really watch a load of basketball. Obviously, I've seen Kobe Bryant play. Didn't know a huge amount about him. But when someone like that, you start actually watching their interviews and realising how much he touched people and inspired them and motivated them, you almost feel like you knew him. And when the news came in about his daughter, you know, I've got a 10-year-old daughter. I was just like, wow, it's absolutely brutal. It's very difficult to have, you know, people who've got very strong faiths in God, stuff like that. I have faith in God. I'm not overly religious, but it's very difficult, isn't it, to find a reason as to why, you know, if you're a believer, why would that happen? You know, and God's plan, blah blah blah. I don't know where I'm going. It's going a bit deep, but it just doesn't seem fair, does it? Really, you know. And you know, the sad thing about it is, I feel like everything that he achieved, he had so much more to give in his life, and I think he spent his whole life committed to something, and then he become almost free. You know, when it was all over, like his career, it's like, oh, now I can live my life. I can spend time with my daughters now. I can really inspire the next generation and this and that, and it got taken away from him. Gutter, really. You know, and you got to think about his wife. I was talking to my missus about it, saying, imagine, like, he's got three kids and his wife, and they've got to go, oh, mate, sickening.
There was others in the helicopter as well.
Yeah, of course. I mean, they don't, you know, apparently there's a very good baseball trainer, a coach in there as well, and then they'll never get the, you know, the noise that Kobe Bryant will. But again, you know, there was another young child in there that got taken away from her families. It's a gutter, mate. But we have to. It's a shame that something like that has to teach us about living every day like it's your last, about being positive, about being nice to people, about, you know, we should do those things anyway.
Yeah, for a while, and then people forget after a while. Like in a few weeks.
It is, but that's
forget.
Again, you know, this like Mamba mentality that he had. Even there's been situations where, I know it sounds a bit soppy, but since he passed, where I've actually said that to myself in the head, you know, and it might be a little thing, you know, when you've got to go and, I don't know, go and do another meeting, or even, sounds a bit soppy, but even when I was on a running machine this morning and I was absolutely fucked and I had another 7 minutes to go, I started thinking about him, thinking about, how, you know, what would he have done? And this whole mentality of trying to actually not be average and achieve something and never give up and all that, you know, we need to take that, and that's his legacy, you know. And I think that's how he would like to be remembered. Again, don't know a great amount about the guy, but when you read his quotes about positivity and about trying to achieve something and how hard you've got to work to get it, a lot of that is the same kind of mantra that I live by as well. And it makes you realise that you're never going to stop negativity, right? But it's how you take it in. So there's no point saying to people, stop being so negative, stop making these miserable little comments, because that's their life. That you can't control that. What you've got to control is your mindset, which is don't be affected by negative comments, positivity, and you be the good person. You be the positive person. You don't be the one that has the negative problem, the one that sits on her ass, the one that moans. You're the guy you're a get up and go person, you know, and that's the mentality that he lives by. So when you don't really want to do it, when you can't be asked, get up and do it, you know, and work as hard as you can every day, because I think that what his passing has taught me is you've got like this. I'm 41 this year, same age as when he passed. Like I'm getting towards that age now where anything could happen in my life. I could drop dead tomorrow. I could have a massive heart attack, like anything, you know. So it's not like we're 10 and we're like, oh well, we've got another 8 years. Like I don't know, you know. I feel as though I'm in good shape, but who knows what could happen? Could walk into a car today, could have a heart attack tomorrow, could anything.
But is that your mentality when you're making decisions in your life about anything, not necessarily in boxing, but in anything, that you think to yourself, you could literally walk out the road?
Not really. Not really.
I
don't.
So
I just think
just do it.
I think,
if you want to do it, do it. Do you have that mentality?
Not really. My mentality is more. I think I'm at fault a lot by not thinking about that kind of stuff. Everything's a blur to me, so I just get up a million miles an hour and you never get a chance to really reflect. Stuff like spending time with your family and stuff like that, that's when you start thinking, wow, like, can you imagine passing away or becoming ill and thinking, I just wish, like if I say something like that happened to me now, if someone come up to me and said, Tubby, you've only got 3 days to live, I would sit there and I would just regret so much that I didn't spend more time with my family. So we know that I've got a commitment of family business and a legacy and all this kind of stuff, and the will to win in what I do, but nothing should be strong, you know, nothing should overtake that, you know. So if there's something right now that you feel like if you lost your life now you would regret, you have to mend that, in my opinion. And it is what it is. Like, there's no way around it. I can't try and be the best at what I do here without making sacrifices at home. But when you think of that, and that was really the gutting thing about Kobe Bryant, is that all the sacrifice, like, do you realise how selfish he would have been during his career? Like, time, and one of the reasons he even got a helicopter was that so that he could make it back quicker and spend more time with the kids if it's a pick up from school. You know, I saw an interview of him saying that. But the sacrifices that he would have made to be the greatest, when that's all over, and he finally said, you know what, now finally I can enjoy my life. I can see my kids grow up, I can inspire them, I can do this. That's when it got taken away from him. And that's the sick thing about that. So for me, but I really feel like to be the best, you have to make that commitment, you have to make it selfish. But there needs to be a moment when you draw the line and say, I'm done, and now I'm giving it all to you. Not the company, not the wealth, I'm giving my time and my devotion all to you. And that is what I feel at the moment. That's the mentality that I have. That so at some point in the future, I'm done. And when I'm done, you got me. Do you know what I mean? Like that, but you don't want it to be too late, is what I'm saying, you know?
Hey, we've been talking to Lou DiBella a lot, and obviously there's not many more people experiencing the game than Lou DiBella. And I always get the feeling from Lou that he feels like in this kind of modern age of boxing that he's kind of being pushed out, if you like. But for yourself, who's kind of, fair to say, at the peak of what you're doing at the moment, do you wait till you're going to get pushed out, or it's changing, or do you leave on the top? If you're on top.
My dad walked away from boxing because he fell out of love with it, and he just thought, I'm not enjoying it anymore. And an opportunity arose for him to make a lot more money doing something else, which at the time was darts. And there isn't a day that goes past where he thinks, I wish I was in boxing again. You know what I mean? So it is probably the worst sport, and Lou DiBella will tell you this, the worst business, to be in. But my God, does it give you some fun, and does it give you some highs? And I mean, look at us now. We're in Miami, we've got a show on Thursday, right? The experiences that we're getting travelling around the world, seeing stuff, we won't realise that till it's gone. But I don't want to be the guy who's, I've always said in all our interviews how bitter boxing can make you, and I hope and I do believe that I haven't got to the bitterness stage yet, but it will come, and I don't want to be that guy. I watch these other guys, I watch Frank Warren stuff, but I just think, oh my God, you are so miserable, you are so angry, you know. I don't want to be that guy, and I don't blame them for it, because I know it's the business, and it's so frustrating. But
you don't know what in 20 years' time how your mentality will be.
I don't look, you know, the way I feel at the moment, I don't want to be doing this in 20 years' time. I'd like to be out. I'd like to be. I want to do.
Will you still be doing it at 50?
Possibly. I do think maybe 10 years might be the cap. Who knows? I'm not going anywhere now. I've got probably doing a new UK deal soon. I've got a big US deal that I've got to deal with. You know, we are making a lot of money. And we are being
deal.
What? I'll have to at some point. Well, I'm not going to. I've only got a year and a half of my Sky deal left, and I'm not going to walk away after a year and a half. So
are you in talks with Sky at the moment?
Yeah. But I don't want to. I want to try and bring through Frank and, you know, other members of the team, and there will come a time in the next couple of years where my dad, who is 72, will start to, you know, lose his marbles a little bit, or will say, I don't want to do as much anymore, and I'll be drawn into other areas of the business, other sports, you know, development of the business. There's so much stuff we're talking about now. It's music, you know, TV content, documentaries, films. Like, there's so much stuff going on behind the scenes with Matchroom, and I think as he moves away, I will have to take more control of that business, So I need Frank and I need those guys and Ross to step up, and take over.
Who fills your space when you move away?
Frank. Yeah.
So is Frank effectively the heir to your throne?
For boxing. Yeah,
for
and
boxing.
actually, well, it's not just boxing. Frank's got the ability to deal with every sport as well. One of the best operators in the game right now. And that's the reason for that is that he joined at 15. He's been with us 11 years, you know. Sometimes I still look at him as a 15, 16-year-old, but he is one of the best. The difference, you know, Frank's much better than me at dotting the I's and crosses the T's. Well, all I am is a performer. I'm a seal. Like when I turn up, you know, and you say to me, "Hey, do this, do one of these, do one of these," you know, and I'm just that guy, aren't I, that gets rolled out to the press conferences, and I'm a salesman. I sell. That's what I do. I'm a promoter. You know, I'm not going to be filing and drawing up contracts and dealing with site agreements, and I get the deal done. That's what I do. I go in, I get the deal done, and then I pass it over. But Frank will have to, in time, be that showman guy who rocks up to the pressers, does his stuff, does the deal, and someone else will be in the position. My neck is burning up here, by the way, as well. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's a young man's sport, you know. The problem is with Bob Arum and Frank Warren, they can't relate to the audience. It's not a criticism of them they're very good promoters. They've been around a long time, but they're just same goes with my dad. You know, he can't. No, the audience today in boxing. Do you really think they want to listen to my dad talking? Like, okay, the stories are quite fun, but no, and that's why Frank is not doing it anymore, and Bob, you know, still got a good business, but it's not relatable to the audience.
It's very art.
I know, we're going to wrap it up now.
We are, yeah.
It's a bit deep.
It's a bit deep. We like going deep, don't we? Didn't really. I know you made some comments yesterday. Didn't really finish off on the whole Joshua Pulev thing, but you've more or less confirmed that it is in the UK.
Not definitely. I see. The problem is, I do these interviews and I wake up the next morning and it's like, Hearn confirms Joshua. I said, I didn't. I just said it looks like it's in the UK. Anything could happen. But right, Pulev wants it not in the UK. He wants it somewhere where he can make more money. Joshua wants it in the UK. So that's what we're trying to do.
Okay. Well, you've got final say, haven't you?
No, never. This is what makes me laugh. So I will report to the boss that he's Anthony Joshua.
No, when I say you, I mean you as in you and Joshua.
The team, yeah, because if he don't want to go somewhere he don't want to, he'll give up the belt. And Pulev will miss his payday, and they think they can win the fight. There he is, look, the protege.
There it is. Does that belt go on the line then if he gets vacated for Usyk and Chisora?
No, because it's the IBF.
Oh, of course it
Get
is.
with
What
it,
we're
mate.
talking about. Talk to me about the WBO situation. There's rumours about that belt being on the line.
No. I think Usyk will fight Chisora. Just tying that up at the moment, and then.
But there'll be no vacant belt on the line.
No, the winner will fight. The winner of Joshua against Pulev will fight the winner of Chisora and Usyk.
I'm beginning to think as well that it's more likely that Dylan White is going to fight in America now.
Maybe, not guaranteed. Just working on it.
So we get one back and then we lose one.
Well, that's how it works, isn't it? That's called life, mate.
Fair enough. All right, got the weigh-in today. If you're in Miami, turn up to the W Hotel.
Yeah, and the after party as well.
Yeah.
And don't forget to tune in this Thursday. Sky Sports in the UK, DAZN in the US, and Fight TV around the world.
Edward, thank you very much.
Gold Star Promotions is proud to present Floyd Money Mayweather. The man himself is coming to the UK for his UK tour, February and March 2020. For all info and tickets, goldstarpromotions.co.uk.